We was just talking
finances. Right.
Yeah, basically we're both broke.
Anyway, real quick.
This is gonna be the longest segment of the show.
Yeah. We finally have shirts. For everybody was saying, and it finally got done. Okay. Can I get a standing ovation up in this motherfucker? Uncutgear.com. All you got to do is go over to it. It's a very simple name, uncutgear.com. It's a little icon that says Uncut Sports Show. It's got shirts with logos. It's got a bunch of shirts and a bunch of different designs. We're going to have some more designs coming over the next few weeks. Now, shout outs. First of all, we're going to start out by, there's a follow of our Mexicutioner 66. He has a buddy, that was a ranger actually, that was injured.
And he's starting to walk again. We wanted to give a shout out to Jeremy. Jeremy, Rangers lead the way. I want everybody to know that. Honestly, I think Kevin and I have a very large military following. And
we do.
I don't know if there's something we can do on the show besides say thanks, but we appreciate it.
We really do. Do. Also, I'm going to give a shout out to Jose Feliciano, Jennifer Antonuccio, Debbie Haba, a.k.a. Vicky the Viking.
I have an idea who that is.
Lisa Radke, Jared Phillips, Mike Mazzacane, I hope I got your name right. Joker Josh, who is probably our biggest Twitter follower. And happy birthday to our boy David Gross. Also a shout out to Kel Curry, Luke Foster, and Dustin Koch. Now,
Gross, I was looking at your Facebook page, and you was commenting on, I can say it here, I can't say it there because I can deny it even after I said it here. There it would be forever because it's in writing. And April was asking you who's going to ride a horse, and you said no. And immediately, here's what popped into my mind. Black people don't ride horses, not even high yellow ones like Gross. But I didn't type it. So now if you watch this, I hope you saw it and laughed, because I laughed, I called Kevin, and he just did what he just did, and I thought it was funny. So
that shit was funny. Yesterday,
motherfucking earthquake.
We had a fucking earthquake. And anybody who was on the east seaboard felt that shit. I was in my car, Shorty. What happened?
I got you beat.
What?
Go ahead, tell you.
I was in my car, right, at the stoplight, and I'm sitting there, and I was like, and I'm like, damn, my motherfucking shit's getting ready to stall, right? And I'm like, why is my shit jumping like this? And the only reason I knew that my car wasn't fucked up is because I looked up in my rearview mirror and I saw the woman behind me's eyeballs like her eyeballs, and the construction workers, them mugs looked like they were doing the fucking Cabbage Patch on the side of the sidewalk, Shorty. That shit was fucked up.
I work in downtown Washington, D.C. on Massachusetts Avenue. I work in a 6-story building. I'm on the 4th floor. I'm sitting at my desk, floor goes, I'm like, why is the floor of this building shaking? And I'm like, all right. So I get out, hang a left, and I go right to the window, and I'm like this. Man, there are 3 Hispanics, and yes, I didn't say Mexicans because I don't know. There were 3 Hispanics outside replacing bricks on the building across from us, halfway up the building. It's a 10-story building. Those motherfuckers were going. That shit was hilarious.
I know they were shitting their fucking pants.
Oh my God. Next thing I do is I turn around, this guy pops his head out of the corner. I was like, see you, bye.
Yeah.
Right down the steps.
See, the problem is if you live in California and you have an earthquake, I've been in several earthquakes. You're like, okay, it's a fucking earthquake. But when you live in D.C. or New York, you think terrorist attack, bombs going off, plane crash. You know, yeah, a lot of people think that. So everybody downtown were panicking like shit. In Manhattan, they were evacuating buildings and shit. People are like, get freaked out of that shit.
That shit was felt from Cleveland to South Carolina and
all the way as high as to Toronto.
Because we have, what, like one fault line supposedly?
We've got one fault line. So on the East Coast, when you have an earthquake, it's more shallow and you feel it in a broader region. Whereas on the West Coast, there's several faults, so you just feel it in a more isolated area.
2 earthquakes we've had.
Yeah. 2012. Oh, shit. Solar flare for last month, then we get an earthquake.
Solar flare?
Yeah, we had a solar flare. You know, solar flare, when the sun kicks up and you get a solar flare, right? I know somebody's going to be like, what this fuck? Does Kevin think he's a scientist? But I'm going to educate you guys. Solar flare, right? If the sun kicks up a solar flare, right? And I probably got this shit wrong, okay? Give me a break, okay? I'm going to try. That can heat up the Earth's core.
Oh.
And then that can make the crust shift.
Oh.
Kind of like a pie in an oven and shit.
Yeah, well, see, I'm only in my 30s. I don't think I'm worried about this motherfucker blowing up. Now that we've been educated by Dr. Blackenstein,
bad motherfucker. Let's talk about some NFL.
Oh, wow. Terrell Pryor got picked up by the Raiders. That Bama ran a 4.340, a 4.36.
Yeah.
And then the Raiders are like, we'll put him at quarterback. No shit, because with the quarterbacks you have, you put them all together, you wouldn't have one quarterback.
Shirley, let me tell you something. If you, and I don't care what you do, okay? I don't care if you're the postman, okay? If you show up to the combines and you run a 4.
I just got a picture of a man in a postal outfit, them tight-ass
like
wool
this.
shorts, hitting a 4.3.
Look, I'm telling you, if you're a trash man, a postman, or whatever, or maybe
If you're a midget. That ain't happening, Captain.
Huh?
That
I'ma
ain't
tell you.
happening, Captain. You see them little ass legs?
the best chance probably postman because his mugs are getting
They can dodge dogs.
they get chased by dogs. But I'm gonna tell you what, you can roll up into the combines in your fucking post office gear, right?
And
that motherfucker like this, boop, and you cross that line in under 4.2. Al Davis is gonna roll out.
Under 4.2. What the fuck's doing
Al
that?
Davis is gonna run up, roll up in his motherfucking
Like this.
in his Captain Crunch outfit and be like this, sign him, and roll the fuck out. That's what he did. He knew that. Now the question to you is this, okay?
No. I'll try him in Madden, but I'll be interested. I'm gonna try him in Madden because I'm sure he's gonna be in like Madden, video game Madden.
Right.
Comes out next week. So my thing is if he's in there, is he gonna be suspended like he is in real life? That Bama's suspended for the first 5-6 weeks.
First five games.
Can he practice? Because they were talking about he can't even practice, which is stupid.
No.
Who cares? Let the man practice.
No. I just want to know if he's going to make more money with the Raiders than he did at Ohio State last year.
He's probably taking a pay loss.
He probably is.
Probably
A
taking-
big one.
No, I don't think. I think college athletes get broken off, but I don't think there's a college athlete out there pulling in $1 million in a year.
No, not in this day and age.
Because let me tell you what, those ignorant motherfuckers,
Yeah.
they'd be driving Mercedes. I don't think any of them are smart enough to know.
If
what
you
to
were
do
breaking
with
me off
$1
that kind of money when I was 19 or 20, I would have been straight ignorant.
Yeah.
People are like, damn, look at Kevin.
Look at those four boys. Four athletes from LSU.
Ooh, I'd like to see your inbox this week.
And what I'm getting at is this four guys from LSU football players. The quarterback, a freshman wide receiver with the last name Toon that I found interesting, and then Toon, Toon, T-O-O-N.
T,
Come
not
on.
a C, okay.
Yeah, and then
Just
two
saying.
other players who got into a bar fight, and the dude has 2 broken vertebrae. Somebody got stretched.
Yeah.
So, and then you got the shit going on at Miami University where they got a guy who gets busted and he's in
For
jail.
a Ponzi scheme.
And then he starts fucking singing like a canary.
He starts rolling on people. See, that's how people get
That's
capped.
why Michael Irvin said, "You a bitch." I
Yeah.
couldn't understand much else Michael Irvin was saying because he got all excited. And Uncle Luke, even Uncle Luke, because if you think back in the heyday when the Bamas came off the plane in the fatigues,
Right.
Uncle Luke was like this part of the team and shit,
Right.
standing on the sideline. So he chimed in. Just shut the fuck up.
Miami, and we're
It's-
switching subjects real quick. We'll get back to NFL news. Miami is
Fuck.
in some serious shit.
There's something about bringing out the death
penalty.
Too much money. That's a joke. Look, when SMU did it, SMU went from this to.
Yeah.
No one knew fucking SMU. SMU wasn't winning national
Right.
titles, and all of a sudden they signed Craig James and Eric Dickerson.
That was the nastiest backfield in college history, Shorty. They
I
were
don't
fucking
know.
crazy.
They Barry Sanders and Emmett Smith went to the same school.
Yeah, but they weren't playing at the same time.
Brief period.
I
Not
don't
like
know if
those-
they went to the same school, did
Oklahoma State.
they? Oklahoma State?
I'm pretty
Did
sure they
Smith go to
did.
Oklahoma State? I can't remember. Somebody let us know.
I thought
that.
Barry Sanders went to
I know
Oklahoma State, right?
Barry Sanders definitely went to
Right,
Oklahoma
and I
State.
thought that's where Emmett went. No, Emmett went to Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Who
That's
did it?
right.
Who was it? I thought there was somebody else at Oklahoma State.
No,
with
yeah,
Barry
Emmett went to
Sanders.
Florida. What are we thinking? Damn, we're
Sorry.
idiots. But that was a nasty backfield.
Yeah, but dude, if you ever watched the 60 or the ESPN,
E60?
yeah, the dude's like, we got a payroll to meet at SMU. I shit you not. That's what he said. I have a payroll to meet.
Yeah, and you know what? They met that payroll, and then they met the death penalty, and SMU's
There's-
fucking whole program just went.
Right.
And
but
the shit's just getting back now.
there's
June Jones is there coaching now,
too
right?
much money. Too much money. Miami will bring in and bring on TV to do that. And
Yeah.
that new coach has got to be like, what did I get myself into? And Larry Coker's like, I didn't know who he was. Well, there's a picture of Donna Shillelagh and the guy going, handing over
They
a
said
check.
the coaches knew everything. They motherfuckers knew.
Dude, the fucking AD knew.
Right. Anyway, let's move back to NFL news. And I mean, if you're a New York's Giants fan,
Ouch.
you guys are just like, what the fuck? I mean,
You
if
guys-
Tom Coughlin can pull this shit off, it'll be a fucking
Coach of the year.
nothing short of a miracle because Terrell Thomas who was their leading tackler and their strongest corner, went out with an injury in preseason. He is out for the year, and that just adds on to a huge list that they have at the cornerback position and other defensive positions.
Down 4 corners.
They've got what's his name? Akamura. I don't know how to pronounce this. Prince. The cornerback. And then, Bruce Johnson also.
Yeah, and OC's out 4 to 6 months. Prince is out 4 to 6 months. The kid, the defensive lineman from North Carolina who had all the issues, he tore a pec. He's done.
OC's out 4 to 6 weeks, isn't he?
Is it 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah,
okay.
4 to 6 weeks.
I just saw 4 to 6 a week and month, whatever.
Right.
It's going to be a while.
Yeah.
That's even if he wants to come back and play. They might Keyshawn his ass.
Yeah.
Let him come back off that injury and decide he doesn't want to play. I'd say Tom Coughlin is not to be played with.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're seeing that a little bit more in the NFL. People are like, if you don't want to play, fuck you. We're not going to sit here and deal with this shit,
Stop acting like babies.
In other news,
it looks like Tim Tebow will probably be his last season in the NFL.
You know what, and that sucks because he is a great guy and everybody likes him and stuff like this, but they named Orton the starter, which they should have done a long time ago, and Tebow has slipped down. Damn, your phone's glowing like shit.
Yeah, it's whatever.
Anyway, but Tebow slipped down the depth chart, and to the point where they're like, he's third on the depth chart, possibly could be fourth on the depth chart.
Most teams don't even carry 4 quarterbacks, though.
Right. I mean, there's a new kid that they drafted. They're like, okay, he's looking better than in practice. So,
dude, you got 2 options: go play for Cincinnati or go play for the Vancouver Canucks. That's hockey.
Yeah.
Toronto Argonauts.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He could play in Canada.
He could play right down the street, motherfucking Seneca Valley High School too.
They have a semi-pro league.
Now, Chris Johnson is set to talk with the Titans. Do you think that shit will be resolved?
This motherfucker sent out a tweet, and at the end of it, he said, "Going to meet with them. This could be good or worst."
Worst.
Not worse. Worst.
He seems like he's real fond of.
Are the E and the T next to each other on a keyboard on your thumbs?
No, there's an R in between them.
Okay. Worst?
Which it could have been worser.
Your grammar's worst.
Maybe he just likes T's more than E's.
He's
Maybe
high.
He, had a problem with
he
E's.
thinks he should get quarterback money.
Maybe he doesn't like vowels. He just like consonants and shit.
He needs to come up off that. He's getting fined, what, $30,000 a day?
Yeah. $30,000 a day. That's fine. George and I were talking about this earlier. $30,000 a day. So over the course of a month, that's about $1 million. Now, this is not money that's getting taken away. This is fines that he has to pay.
Yeah, this isn't coming out of his contract.
I would get that shit settled today.
Dude, I don't care how much money you make. Think about how many of you out there can take $30,000 and throw it up in the air and not give a shit about it. I
can't throw fucking 15 out in the air like that.
I can't throw $5.
Yeah. Now, the Steelers signed Lawrence Timmons. Okay, they signed Woodley, their outside linebacker, and they signed Lawrence Timmons, their inside linebacker, for a total of about $111.5 million.
Yikes!
They locked up those young guys quick, and I think that's why the Steelers organization has remained a good organization, because they don't hold on to players too long. Now, they got Palomalu out there, who is a phenomenal football player, but
he is hurt.
He gets hurt a lot, and he's a little older than those other 2 boys, and they're like, you know what, we're locking these guys up first. And so don't be... Go ahead.
I'm sure your boy Fatu Gomer is going to jump in right here and tell us why we're all wrong, because he loves the Steelers. Steelers can do no wrong. Greatest franchise ever. La 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 la.
I agree with them. I mean, they don't...
Greatest franchise ever?
I mean, they're the greatest football franchise ever. Them or the Packers, I mean, I would have to say. But, I mean, but I wouldn't be surprised if they slap a...
Franchise tag and put, in 2012 on Troy and basically try to work out a long-term deal with them. Now, if Phi Tau Gomer says something about that, I don't know. It's all positive. It ain't nothing negative. Right, Phi? Tau Gomer? Just letting you know.
Phi Tau Homer would sound cooler, shorty. Have like a Homer Simpson mascot on your fucking... Never mind.
He looks like Homer Simpson.
Now, moving on to MMA news. Okay.
Hey, buddy.
Now, the pros, and when I say pros... Right. Not us, because we all know that we're not pros, and you guys remind us of that every fucking week. Were asked about the upcoming Anderson Silva versus Okami fight. 31-4 in favor of Silva.
Yeah.
So that tells you a lot of these fights are about promotion, making these fighters look better than they are, so people tune in to watch the fight.
Now, I don't want to get off that subject because I called Kevin last night on my very slow ride home on the metro. Chael Sonnen has been talking cash shit about every Brazilian to ever grace an MMA ring. Mm-hmm. He said he was going to go down there and corner Okami because Okami's his buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then a group of Brazilians got together and said, if you come down here and look, we will lynch you.
They basically told that mug, Chael Sonnen, you will feel like a black man in the 60s in Mississippi.
And like I told Kevin, Chael Sonnen could step off the plane, some baggage handler could come up and stab him and or shoot him and then walk away. And let me tell you, no one would see shit.
Yeah.
And that's the truth of the matter. Dude, you got to know when to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Or at least, and I understand, like, people take Chael with a grain of salt, but the problem is Chael never, like Rashad Evans hypes the shit out of a fight and acts like a complete jackass at times. And then afterwards...
But then you can see the other side of him,
right,
yeah.
And then afterwards, in the interview after the fight, he's very humble. He gave a lot of respect to two Ortiz. Chael never turns that shit off.
Yeah.
And that's his problem.
Yeah.
You can't sit there and say those things that you've said about Brazilian people and think they're going to be like, oh, that's just Chael being Chael.
Right.
Dude, they're not playing.
Yeah.
And now he's not going to Brazil. And you know what? I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
But grow the fuck up already.
Yeah, he's got to. You know, you see it, and I think you see it a lot with the Brits fighter, like Bisping and Hardy. They talk trash and they get under a lot of people's skin. But you know, then you see they're like, okay, they cool it down. They fucking bring it down a level. But this guy keeps saying things that are offensive, and he doesn't really come flat out and say, okay, I'm just fucking with you, joking. And a lot of people who, especially if you're not good with English or
exactly,
they might not understand it. It's a language barrier.
Exactly,
they might understand that his sarcasm and shit like that.
Sarcasm doesn't translate
very well with different languages. So I will watch it now. Fox, UFC on.
I just listened to an interview this morning with Dana White about this.
Really?
He cannot stand Bob Arum. He called Bob Arum a fat, lazy pig. You need to do this, do that. You don't do anything. If you were half the promoter you said you were, you'd get the Floyd Mayweather-Pacquiao fight signed. Yada. You've ripped MMA, but now your shows look more like MMAs with House DJ, and you're doing smaller events, and you're doing them more often. If you hate us, why are you being like us? If we're not good, then why are you being like us?
Yeah, because he's definitely biting some of this shit. Well, you know, Fox on the UFC is going to debut November 12th.
Man, Pacquiao fights November 12th.
Right. Now,
1 hour show, though.
They're talking about if Silva wins, sources are saying that they could possibly have a Hendo Silva rematch.
Wow.
That's something that George... Now, I'm going to tell you what, this is going to be funny because George said, and I'm taking my foot in my mouth, he said that would be the fight. And they said, but, now where George is wrong is...
Catch weight.
They said that Hendo wants to fight at 205, but they said that's what he's saying he wants to fight at. He wants to fight at 205, where George's saying he wants to fight middleweight, but they said they think they can get him to come down the middle again if they offer him a title shot against Silva, a rematch shot. So,
and to be honest, this is a nice idea, but what is this, August, September, October, November? It depends on how much damage Anderson Silva takes.
Yeah.
And it depends on Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva doesn't have to take the fight.
No. And they've had a lot of other things they're saying too. They're saying if, say for example, Silva didn't win, say for example, Silva didn't want to take the fight, they said that Henderson could come in at 205 and sit opposite of someone like Machida, and that would be a great draw. And I think that would be a good fight for their introductory fight. I mean, I can see that.
Now here's the thing: the event on November 12th, from everything I'm hearing, it's going to be 1 hour. It's not put in place to challenge boxing. Dana White, the Fox says we're putting on a show the 12th. We want to see how it does. I guess just to see. I don't know why you only put on an hour. To me, if you're going to do it right.
Right.
But you want to put on an hour show, dude. You got to bring out the big guns.
Yeah, I mean,
he's got to find anyone who's healthy and has name rec who know. It's a shame that Brock Lesnar's not healthy. Right. It really is, because
they were talking about Brock Lesnar fighting Machida.
At what weight?
I don't know. Machida's a big fucker, though. I mean, he is. You know what I'm saying? And I say that in the most complimentary way. But he's a big guy. I mean, he's like 6'2", 6'3". And he comes down to 205.
Kick that big Sasquatch motherfucker right upside his head, and Brock would be snoring.
Could you imagine watching Brock Lesnar chase him around the ring? That shit would be comical, man. I would love to see that fight.
It'd be like that big red thing chasing Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, that thing. Yeah, big hairy thing.
Yeah. So
anyway.
Tell us. All right. So here's the deal. November 12th, you get to pick the card. Who do you want to see fight on November 12th?
Right.
You got a 1 hour show, so you got to fill it. Now, mind you, the last fight's got to be, you got to allot 25 minutes for the last fight, right?
Yeah, you got to allow 25 minutes for the last fight.
And then you got commercials, so you figure that's probably another 15 minutes of commercials than that hour.
Yeah.
So you're up to
I think
40
you could
minutes.
have
That's
three.
40 minutes.
I think if you did it one time, you could have 3 events.
Oof, that'd be
But
tough.
I mean, but Fox and commercials, I'd say 2. I'd say you could have a fight, and then a main event.
That's exactly what you're going to have. You're going to have the intro. You're going to have one 15-minute fight. You're going to have maybe another promotional piece in the middle promoting the next card.
Right.
Mind you, there's commercials in there, and then you're going to have your final match.
Yep.
So, all right, now you're down to 2 matches because we're filling in all the other time for you. So
Yep.
you need a 15-minute match, and you need a 25-minute match. Who's it going to be?
Yep. Let us know. And you know what? Stop at uncutgear.com and get a damn shirt.
Yeah, all you people. I'll buy a shirt. Let's see.
Yeah,
Put
let's
your
do it.
money where your mouth is.
James got annotations floating all about the shit.
Uncutgear.
Gear.com.
.com.
Click on Uncut Sports. We're out.
Nice day.